Welcome back, everyone. We are in a place that's probably a little bit odd because here we are. Oh, right, I gotta repair this crappy wooden slingshot real quick. Hang on. So we're here on the first floor of the Divine Beast Cavern again because I've been trying to grind for weapon drops a little bit off camera. And let me tell you, in the past half hour, I didn't get shit. Not surprising, I probably should have spent more time with it, but Phantasy Star Online 2 is having a seasonal event that ends pretty soon, so I've been doing a lot of that. It's also a good way to, again, make sure that all of my PC problems were related to my power supply and me just, like, going over its limit or something. And hey, so far, it hasn't blown up. I don't remember if I mentioned that on stream, but I did pick up a power supply, a 1000 watt power supply, upgrading from the 700 watt I was using for a while. It arrived on Tuesday. Wow, I forgot what I was going to say entirely. I was like, oh, I picked it up. Yeah, it's not exactly the same way with shipping, is it? I ordered it on Friday and it arrived on Tuesday. Anyway, so that's all hooked up and everything is, working so far. So I'm going to show off the tram oil here. Every dungeon has a back room type of thing like this, and there's an entrance to it on every floor. Oh, did it not update? Hang on a second. Let me go make sure that I didn't fuck up, which is a distinct possibility. Oh, yes, I think that's my fault. Well, let me fix that real quick. I'll steal it. No one will ever know. Wait, no, that's... I'll change it. No one will ever know. No one will ever know. There we go. Oh, the Dover boys. They exist. Alright, so that should be up to date. You may have to refresh. But, it has been affixed. And anyway, so now that that's been fixed, I'm going to show this thing off. Every dungeon has this backroom mechanic, and the indicator of where you can enter from is marked by a little question mark. You go up to it, you hit square, and you use the proper item. In this case, that's going to be the tram oil that we got earlier. And now we can press X, and we can take this minecart into the back of the cavern. So I guess this must have been a mine at some point. And you get a little bitty cutscene for the transfer. It's probably basically a loading screen, let's be honest with ourselves. And we end up back here. Room is much darker, and we've got enemies that we're going to be very familiar with them. However, what we're not going to be so familiar with is the fact that they're all buffed with stamina. And that means that we should probably keep our distance, or we gotta hit and run, or we gotta hit him hard. And yeah, like you can see, this dude is glowing orange. Also, yes, we're on floor 1 and it's feeding us ghosts and yeah mics and stuff, and yeah. Oh, well, that's fun. However, the rewards for these back rooms are pretty great, by the way. I didn't get to mention that. Enemies drop twice as much experience. And we can get some pretty neat items from the chests. That anti-goo amulet is something that we can find in regular floors, so that's not as neat. But, more importantly, we can find gems in some of these chests, which are very valuable synthesis items that give us a lot of stats for our weapons. Oh, I see. So literally a wizard did it or something, alright? Just... Oh, hey, the whole plot has been this one dude playing with his action figures. Thanks, guys. Really means a lot. But hey, thankfully the game's nice enough to give us a little boost here. I don't know that it'll last very long, but we'll try to get something out of it. Oh, hey, look, we got a boner soldier here. And do note that these dudes' stamina does not run out. They just have it as an endless buff. Regular enemies do not have that issue going on when you face them in the front world. If they get buffed with stamina, it is on a timer, as usual. So, not to worry there. Hey, come on. There's only one chest left in here, and I got a feeling it's going to be junk as well. Yep. Well, at least that stuff sells for a reasonable amount of money. Oh yeah, non-interference clause usually works so well. That's... I feel like if that becomes a plot point, it's gonna be tested in some regard at some point. But, that's to be expected, really. Not even a problem. I'm just sitting here like, wow, that's a lot of stuff going on in Power Rangers. So, yeah, disappointed with how that went. We're going to leave, and we're going to start dumping some stuff real quick. But why did I stop moving? I didn't release the stick. Not completely. Maybe the sensitivity on this is a little funky. Alright, so we really don't need that regular water. Hey, give me that 5 cents. This mellow banana is not going to do a whole lot for us, but, you know, on the other hand, oh, banana jokes write themselves. And we can dump these. Yeah, you see, they're worth about 200 apiece. That's alright. And for a start, we've got... Shut up, I know how to use the shop. I've just been using Speedy Sell. Anyway, more importantly, look at that grammar error. And second of all, we can sell these for 400, which is nice because we really will never need to use chest keys, like, at all. We're just going to brute force every trap we run into because the penalty for it is very small. We can take a look at the shop again. We should grab another feather. You can see that we've got some usable weapon upgrade items. And in fact, I might pick up a couple of those because, again, we're just chunking down all of our not as good stuff. So why not stock them with some things? And this is an interesting thing, is this gold bullion. This... We grab 3 gold bars, and here, I'll buy one real quick. Costs 1,000 gold, but we can sell it back for 1,000. Basically, that's how we store money in our storage thing. And eventually, that's going to be something that we probably use quite a bit in order to be able to afford certain pieces of gear. Do we have anything we need to... We'll throw a holy and we'll throw an ice on there. That should be good. Repair. I think we're good in terms of any other items here. We got a nice chunk of damage dealing stuff, and we got enough repair powder. Like all this stuff I think we're good on. Honestly, yeah, we're probably okay. Yeah, I don't think Twitch has a spoiler markup in the chat, which kind of sucks, but, you know, it's a thing that's fairly recent in a lot of other things. You know, not everything has it, basically. Anyway, hooray, we just got a pouch. I read about that in a guide yesterday, like, just by total accident, basically. I was looking for something else. And we got an extra 10 item capacity. That is pretty great. I do love a bit of item capacity, especially when it's more than we had already. Yeah, I know. That's really helpful, isn't it? Anyway, we're gonna go to the dungeon again. And let's see what we can do here. Oh good, I hear a bat. I'm looking forward to murdering that thing. Oh, hey, we got another llama. Somebody else is farming llamas. Ah, yes, we've got... We're rocking off here, right? This is just gonna be a... pretty much a Shao floor, except for the master jackets. Oh, God. Why do these things do so much damage? Oh, hey, there we go. Got a boner over here. Thankfully, the Gladius does a lot of damage to the skeletons, so those guys go down pretty fast. Also, wow, Power Ranger villains are terrible bosses. Somehow I'm not surprised by this. Except apparently for Rita Repulsa's son. That's... Ooh, I think this is going to be a King Mimic. Yeah. So these things can show up and they can now bait you for large treasure chests in the deeper parts of the dungeons. Because, you know, I need to be disappointed about more things in my life, right? Oh, fuck you. Oh god, for a second I thought it was rolling in place. Alright, well, it's gone at least, so there's that. I'm curious if those guys count as stone or metal type. I don't remember. If they are metal type, blowing them up is probably a good idea because I think we need metal breakers quite a bit. Oh yeah, that guy. Moltar. Wasn't he Moltar before, or am I confused? I don't know. I don't remember a lot of Power Ranger stuff. Mostly I just remember the name Goldar. And like I said, memories of seeing that thing. I'm pretty sure I told that on here. When I was a kid, my mom took my brother and I to see this Power Rangers live on stage type of thing, which was sort of like a martial arts show and lights and fog and stuff like that. And it was held at, well, the one that we saw, or saw part of anyway, was held at a place that was then known as the Rosemont Horizon and is nowadays known as the Allstate Arena. You know, a Chicago area sports place. And it will probably not surprise you to know that I really couldn't deal with that kind of sound and lights and stuff when I was younger. And it was too loud and too noisy and too hard on the senses, just in general. And so we ended up having to leave early because of that. And, I mean, I remember that a lot because of, well, many reasons. At least one of them is probably because I still feel a little bad about it, but it also seems like, why would you take your small child to... A few years ago, after my grandparents died, my parents were like, hey, let's go to Disney World for a couple of days in the middle of the Christmas holiday, which is probably like the busiest time that is possible to go to Disney World because it's in Florida. And so everyone who's from north of there is going there because it's warmer and it's Disney World. And I remember just so many parents with their noisy children. And this isn't necessarily like a slam against the children, but I feel reasonably confident that they are not going to remember that sort of thing 10 years in the future. And the crying and the wailing is just going to annoy the other guests. So, you know, why are you doing that? Nowadays, we just have this concept of Disney adults that we can blame. Oh, hey, Bones McKenzie got back up again. Wow, it took us that long to get the key. Okay, game, sure. Really gotta keep me in this dungeon as long as possible. Not that I'm necessarily doing anything to change that myself, but still. Now you're just being rude, game. I think we can do another floor and then we can step out. Because none of that stuff should disappear from any of the houses if we do that, I think. One second. All right. Back to it. Oh, good. That's something we can't really deal with very well with Shao. Kill the bats. Hey. Alright. We got stuff in there, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to upgrade. And now I'll be able to show off doing this. Using a status break reduces the item only gets 60% of the weapon's original stat, but we still get a stat bonus, and we can pass it on to our next piece of gear, which is nice. So one thing is, you don't really want to do that over and over with, you know, just piling weapons on top of each other too much. If those are your main sources of things like elements and all of that. We're going to go ahead and equip the bandit slingshot here, and we're going to put the synth sphere into that. We actually are going to use the bandit slingshot as our main piece of weaponry here, because I just sort of decided, you know what, I'll let Xiao be sort of the thief a little bit, and Toan can focus on doing other things. All of Xiao's weapons, except for 2, just sort of converge in terms of their evolutionary path, so getting to the ultimate weapon is not really a hard thing to do. Now that said, we do want to do some stuff with it before we get there, so we gotta be a little careful. Alright, is any of this... Yeah, there's not much going on here, but... Sure, it's fine if we use that. Let's go ahead and upgrade. This Gladius, meanwhile, can, basically its entire evolutionary track converges with the Shamshir, so we don't have to worry too much about any of that. It's not going to be a better weapon for us to work on. We can just use it as a stat boost for our better weapon, basically. One of these days, I'll be able to assemble words properly. It just won't be today. It probably won't be tomorrow. Aw, I hear a big boy. I saw his ass, too. Well, actually, I saw his front. Oh, boy, there's a dagger on here. That thing is bound to be a little bit more durable. Oh, God. Ow, that hurt. Yeah, that's a lot of damage that we just did to our weapon there. It's Rocco's Modern Life over there that I'm far more worried about. And we're not even going to try hitting that thing with any sort of sword, because that is almost guaranteed to be useless. Just like the item it dropped. Thanks, game. Just take a tiny little chip off of the giant rock, and hey, it... Actually, I guess I'll demo it real quick. Throwing it at an enemy causes neutral damage, and by that we mean it deals, like, 3. Funny, I guess, but, like, why would you put this there? Or here, for that matter. Well, if we kill one of them with it, then that's some pro shit. That's like a Dendy Hook level of bullshit, because at that point, we have to basically have chipped the target's HP down perfectly, but I believe it does drop the attachments, so if we were that, you know, fucked in the head, really, we could give it a shot. But also, for suggesting it, you are a fucking demon. It's okay, I'm pretty sure Lears already knows he's evil, so... You know what a sick fuck you are. Well, poison kills you, so I would assume that it can kill enemies too, but it has been a hot minute since I've had access to a poison dealing effect. We can actually buy weapons with fishing points that will give us poison once we unlock the 5th character, I believe. And of course, once we then have to grind those into a fine paste, which is not exactly the fastest thing in the world, but it is doable. It's New Age neutral. The New Age neutral hippie. Wait. Oh god, yeah, I heard about that. Somehow I completely forgot to say anything about it, but then again, it's the Stadia, so, like, the Stadia has been the Stadia has been sort of a running joke just for the entirety of the gaming world forever. On the one hand, I do want to say, like, hey, at the very least, they're refunding all the customers who bought all this equipment and all these games and shit. I want to say that, and then I remember, oh, yeah, they sprung this announcement on the team like 3 hours before they decided to can it. And at the very least, one developer didn't find out about the fact that Stadia was being canceled and just released a game a couple of days ago, and then immediately found out, like, after the Stadia hardware devs, the people who worked at Google, right at, you know, they were told after them, and they didn't know about it after they, yeah. I mean, yeah, that's pretty much what it is that you found out, oh, shit, well, I gotta move my game over to a new platform now. RIP. Because Google decided, hey, we're not going to tell anybody about anything, and also they're going to get away with it forever. Like, I think everybody is just going to look at it and be like, yeah, you know, well, we could switch over to using DuckDuckGo, but we're lazy. Or they could start using other email services or other places to store their files than Google Drive or other web hosting because Google does that too. But I don't think any of that's going to happen, even though it kind of deserves to a little bit. Because Google are looking at that don't be evil idea that they used to push as being a mere suggestion. Demanding a refund of the... Oh boy, that's... Come to think of it, that's a good question. We got someone who's just known as Hag. Oh, hey, it's Gruntilda. Wait. Storage house. Fence. This means we don't have Gina's house ready, apparently. Alright, well, we can finish off this windmill. Oh, hey, there's a thing that happens at the windmill. Hey, I'll take a free item. I'm not going to complain. We'll leave the ladder there for a bit, and I think everything is arranged except for the well, almost consumable-like things. The trees and the roads and the rivers and stuff aren't placed, but we can handle that in a bit. Oh, hey, look, the windmill is powered by sparkles. Well, that's strange, but okay. Do we actually get an item out of this, or what? Okay, I think that is supposed to be the item that we get out of this. The horned key is what is going to let us access the boss of the dungeon once we get to the bottom of it. Time to scope this place real quick for any more items. Say, where's our music? I see there's a bit of sound overlap. I see, in fact, I hear it, really. Alright, so we got a fish candy. We can feed that to Xiao and give her some more defense. Finally going up from 1. Poor kid. Do you know that cats just take infinite damage from everything? Where's Alden's house? I've actually got that out here somewhere, right? Yeah, here it is. This is the one that we couldn't get all the way up there before. So we should be able to ask her if she's got anything that she wants for her house. The lamp at the front door. Okay. We can come in here and we can see another llama. Blah. I have a feeling that's how a lot of us are going to end up feeling about this game at the very end, but I digress. Go upstairs, and let's see if there's anything to root around and grab in here. We got a Dino Slayer. Nice. Plant Buster. Currently less nice, but will definitely come in handy later. Alright, I'm gonna have to go to... Oh yeah, hey, let me fill in this windmill real quick. And yeah, strangely enough, we haven't gotten the last building for the town. That's pretty odd. And also, yeah, I'll just give you a quick warning that I will be using a guide in order to chart out how to place all the buildings. Because, honestly, I'm pretty bad at setting things up to get 100% requests. And if you want to see me sitting here rotating every house off and on like 60 times for an hour to try and get everything positioned, well, that'll be a place later, but still, nobody wants to deal with that. What are you missing? A bench and the jars. All right. I think we've got a bench, so at least there's that. Okay, so we're missing 1, 2, probably. Yeah, I think we're missing just like 3 things, really. Well, hopefully for good camera angles, too, at least, because there's definitely some parts of that game where it's just like, hey, camera's butting up against a wall. Actually, I kind of love when games don't let you do that. I was playing some PSO2 earlier, and I was fighting one of the big boss enemies, And by big boss enemies, I mean it was one of the level 15 things, so I could actually solo it. But I was up real close to it, and so the camera was just clipping into it, and I couldn't see it at all. Funniest shit ever in a video game. Not to say that it's, like, unique to that game or anything. That's an effect that happens in a lot of 3D games. Basically, as soon as you get past the texture layer, there is nothing inside of there, so you end up in stuff like... So, like in 14, back when Final Steps of Faith was an actual thing that you could get in roulette, instead of being a single-player duty, which it is now, I haven't played the new version of Final Steps of Fate yet, but, Faith, pardon me, not Final Steps of Fate, what the fuck was I saying? Anyway, so, I used to end up rolling that, like, all the time when I was playing Dragoon, which was kind of funny in and of itself. Because you're fighting a big old dragon, ain't ya? And Dragoon, obviously, is a melee class. So, a lot of the time, I would just be underneath this thing with the camera clipping into it, so it was completely invisible, this boss I was fighting. And I just always found that to be absolutely fucking hilarious. Okay, so let's have a quick look at what this thing needs in order to build up. Both of these are basically the same. To be a wolf. Hello, fellow Dark Cloud enjoyer. Hello, wolf. Hello. Hello, to be a wolf. There we go. Well, I was, like, struggling with the idea of pronouns for a second. They're a load of shit. Anyway. We'll fix the camera angles. Yeah, I'm sure that there's only so much you can do. You're actually playing it on the thick PS2? I've got a nice old PS2 that I'm using, the thick PS2, if you will. From, when did I get mine? I don't remember. I don't remember. I mean, obviously I got it many years ago. Let me not immediately try to upgrade this bandit slingshot. I should probably save that. I should save that power-up powder. Anyway, I got mine not at launch, but I did have a launch PS2, and eventually the laser just conked out. So I'm on a model from like 2004 or something. Maybe 2003. But either way, a slightly later model of the heavy boy. Just unlocked her. She's... Well, having a ranged character is good, so there you go. She's quite helpful for that reason alone. Making Blue Cave purely fog, nothing has changed, yeah. Yep, that's it. That's that part of the game in a nutshell. You've reduced it to its most basic form. To its constituent parts, if you will. Hey, nice, we took out the rock in one hit. That is good. I'm very glad. It's definitely something that you can do, but if you have just unlocked her, like, as in you just hit floor, like, 9 or something, well, that's probably a fool idea. Anyway, Blizzard recording you in Overwatch 2. Yes, I heard about that as well. To which my basic response is, wow, I'm sure that will really do a lot. Because, let's be real here, I'm not exactly imagining that whatever detection of toxicity that they have going is going to be the most functional thing. The trap has to be a curse, right? Yeah. We just always brute force these traps as guessing their curses. Yes! Jackpot, boys! And not boys, for that matter. I know that it's like sort of Twitch tradition, really, to call everyone boys, but I do worry sometimes. You know, I don't want to upset people. Usually, unless they've wronged me in some way, in which case, burn in hell, motherfucker. I'm okay. Anyway, so we're pretty much going to just work on having Shao break down that bandit slingshots. That way I can feed steel to Tone. And that's going to be our main way of getting along with things. Oh god, are you having a... You must be having a really bad time. Yeah, just keep your distance, sidestep a lot. Am I on the one that's being leveled or no? Yes, I'm on the one that's being leveled. Okay, well, I actually don't need to... To be honest with you, I don't think I need to equip the other one all the time, because the damage on this is still going to be good. Anyway, yeah, Overwatch 2's toxicity recording thing... I don't know if that's really going to be of any functional use, to put it nicely. Like, I don't think it's going to help. Because I'm not expecting whatever they're using to record it to, like, pick that shit up automatically. And there's no way that they're hiring that many human moderators. Because I know that we like to say stuff about, like, oh, yeah, just hire human beings, but it's going to be a lot of... Dropped an MP +2. Well, I mean, that's something that... Funds decreased a little bit. Oh, my money! It's not that horrible of a loss, but still, that makes me feel a little bit bad. Bury me with my money. Good old, what's his name from Sunset Riders. Simon Greedwell. Records the voice, uses a robot to transcribe to a text file, and then people read it to scan for toxicity. Okay, so, I actually used to do voice transcription stuff. Like, for a bit, that was my job. It didn't really pay very well because it was all contract work, and... You know, no work is properly valued in this country. Let's be real with ourselves. But more importantly, a lot of those services did start employing an auto-transcribing AI. There we go. That's the description I'm looking for. They started to employ the use of an AI for a lot of that stuff. And yeah, I'm just going to sell that MP +2. We'll get more. It's not a problem. And, here's my experience with AI transcription. It's shit! Like, it is turbo garbage! And I'm sure that those guys are not going to be super happy about thinking about that. Oh god, run harder. Yes, run harder. That's the description that we're gonna give that. Anyway, so, yeah, AI transcription has a tendency to be fairly inaccurate. And what's worse is that one of the services that I used to be employed by, basically, their way of dealing with this fact was to go, oh, yeah, if your version of the transcript is too far off from the automatic transcript that we make, that is the AI going, this is what I think it sounds like, we're not going to pay you for it. So, that was real fucking cool. And I'm glad I don't do that shit anymore. Unfortunately, Unfortunately, this isn't exactly a thing that pays very well either. But, yeah. Anywho, so that is the short of things, and it's going to be very, it's not going to work, basically, is what I'm saying. And also, if it's just AI transcripts, it's also taking away from levels of context, like, especially if you're rolling in with a group. That might sound a little bit funny, but if you're rolling into a match as a group of people, I mean, I am kind of belligerent to a lot of people. We, with friends, it's sort of a jokey way, not like, oh, hey, I really don't like the way you're playing, but, I come from the generation of people who used to roast each other as a means of encouragement and, camaraderie and all that. Basically, I come from the culture that brought you John Romero is about to make you his bitch. I'm not as old as John Romero, obviously, but that just kind of tells you that sort of culture of how things went in online gaming, because that was the idea, is that the John Romero is about to make you his bitch poster was supposed to be like, oh, hey, I'm here to flex. Look at this cool thing I'm going to do. And it was inspired by friendly trash talk in LAN party situations and stuff. And obviously a lot of people were like, oh god, what the fuck? And I mean, fair enough. Well, I don't think that's true either, is the thing. But I suppose that depends on the person. But moreover, I gotta give this guy a storage cabin. Moreover, it's the idea that I sort of lost my train of thought a little bit. I think that a lot of the time that is just the way the internet culture just has stayed. That, people talk trash at each other, and it's not necessarily supposed to be inherently negative. But so I don't know that the Overwatch thing is going to work, basically, is all I'm saying. As far as Twitch and the $100 super chat for, was that 2.5 seconds? That's definitely, let me scroll up a little bit here. 2.5 minutes, okay. That seems like a little bit more of a deal, but that's a joke. It's a ridiculous level of monetization, but it's Twitch. I'm not 100% surprised by it. Oh, you said Goomba. I thought you said Goomba for a second. Hey, cool, we got a fishing rod. So that's helpful. For whenever we decide to do things like that. Oh yeah, Carl can't swim. Nice treasure vault you apparently have. Rip nerd. The giant sword thing amuses me greatly. Anyway, I forgot where else I'm supposed to go. Oh, yeah, I think... did we finish Laura's house? Yeah. We didn't get the event here. Yeah, Tone just acting completely shocked by this type of interaction between human beings. Yep, we put the thing back together. Oh, he is still just a kid, but, well. Are we gonna time travel after this? I don't think we will, but eh. Hey, another Duran's feather. Those are always nice to have. And the kid gives us a tutorial with very questionable spacing. Lunk. Well, it's better than being a lunk. I do appreciate the big dumb sword, that's all. Just, it does look incredibly silly. Right, and I think Hag's house is where we need to go check next, and yeah, so this should be the last place that we have an event for. And now we just need to arrange things, and I believe she gives us, yeah, she gives us access to our storage locker. You killed the King Mimic. Neat! Nice! That should give you a nice fat chunk of EXP. Congratulations! I hope that doesn't sound too sarcastic. But hey, we got ourselves a storehouse, and I'm going to go look at this chart real quick and see if I can set this up appropriately. Right, move and remove. It's over here. Oh yeah, you can use the D-pad to move, like, on the actual grid, so that's helpful. Make sure that we're facing the right way. Okay, yeah, that's drains window there. He wants to be that way. Next over, alright, Gaffer's Buggy is going to be, like, across the road from Macho Man Randy Savage's house over here. So there's some flexibility with how the town building can be done. I am just using existing maps for it. But basically, everybody has a couple of requests about how they want their houses and stuff placed. And you can do whatever as long as it fits in with all of what they ask for. So by all means, you know, take a look at that and get creative. But also, I'm super bad at this kind of thing, and I don't want to... you know, being on a stream makes me want to not stretch it out too much. There is, in fact, a reward for completely building each town the way that you are requested to. What you get depends on which town you're in. So here, I think this one we get a new move, actually. We'll find out when we get there. But first we have to actually get there, so, our house, Paige's house is right next to it, alright. Alright, that's the pond. Makes sense. house goes over here. And this last windmill can go down here. Unfortunately, no. You have to get the key to that place just at random. There are other dungeons where you can get the backroom keys by purchasing them, but not this one. And even then, I think it's only one other dungeon that you can buy it for, and it's something that only lasts for a little while, unless you spend more money to buy an item that exists just to preserve it in the inventory. Yeah, it's kind of... It's unfortunate, to put it nicely, but... You know, this game is definitely pretty full of RNG, especially early on. Alright, bridges next, then we put in the trees. Lastly, we'll put some trees down. Trees down! Wait, no. That's... did we place all the... Yeah, this just doesn't use all the trees, I guess. Let's place that one there. And this should give us perfect town stats. 87%? I have done something wrong then. Is somebody's house facing in a funny way? Alright, so that's angled properly. I may have to rotate the... No, the pond is rotated fine anyway, even according to this. It might be this. Well, I'm the clown here. Wait. Wait a second. Not like the sort of I just had an epiphany type of wait a second. Just me saying something about being the clown. Alright, well, let's go and see what anyone has to say here. Is this right? Yeah, so you want to be away from the Macho Brothers. Claude wants to be at, near Allnut's house, I think. It's his deal. So, originally, my idea was going to be to just use these guides to make things go faster, but apparently I'm just kind of bad at this, so... Did I misread it? Is this map not good to begin with? Who can say? except for these camera angles. Wow, it is just getting caught on everything today. Oh, boy, oh boy. Hey, free bread. I bet it's gonna be this guy who's like, I'm not close enough to... Alright, so he's by the road. It's facing correctly. Or do I have to actually beat the boss in order to get this? That is a distinct possibility. That it's just like, well, it doesn't count until you beat the boss. Which, in fact, does sound correct, but we'll handle that in a second, I guess. I think this is the only location that that's actually the case, if that is the thing. You're in always, because you are the storage place. House in front of Dran's windmill blades. Okay, yeah, so I was correct after a moment or two, is that she wants us to go and beat the boss before she'll give us her victory points there. We're gonna store some power-up powder as well, because I don't really need to use that right this minute. And I'll use the other consumables in a second. The stat ones, I mean. What do I look like, Plastic Alan? What do I look like, Brysolf when he's trying to play, Fire Emblem? And he's not using his stat items until the end of the game, which, to be fair, I completely understand why you wouldn't do that. What do I look like? Somebody who watches enough streamers and video makers to make more than 2 jokes in that regard? The answer to that one is fuck no. Yeah, Claire and Whitney were both... I almost respect Whitney more because Claire tries to make it out to be like some extra challenge or something. Meanwhile, Whitney's just having a damn temper tantrum, which, you know, okay. That ain't the greatest way to go about things, and yet, still... I definitely didn't see that part of the anime, but I will completely believe that. Oh, hey, look. It's a big guinea pig griffin. With music that sounds like it's missing one of the tracks in your MIDI there. Alright, well, it's time to wrestle a big ol' furry thing. The Divine Beast Dran. Alright. First things we want to do are that I actually want to keep the Gladius equipped for now. Did we? Yeah, that swallowed up the dagger. Okay. So I'm going to switch over to Xiao, and she's going to basically help shoot this guy down. You can see that he doesn't really have a health meter, so we have no idea how much HP he's got. I don't completely remember how this fight operates. But I think we have to do something like this, where we knock him out of the sky. I almost said sky air. I'm very silly, apparently. And we're going to fall in a hole because he just breaks the floor. And that did a bunch of damage to us. Okay. Tone, eat a bread. You know how many breads you've eaten in your lifetime, etc.? Have I ever seen Transformers Prime? No, I can't say as I have. Oh my god, really? I was trying to open the menu. And it's just like, hey, yeah, what if we didn't let you do that? Well, that's a shame. We're going to have to revive, which I will do in just a second. So a big thing with a lot of these fights is that there's typically a structure to most boss fights in this game of you start with the character you just unlocked, and they have to do something. And then Tone has to do the big damage. Not necessarily that the other characters are useless, but simply that Tone does a better job in terms of being able to hit harder. Wow, alright. When the enemy gets up and deals damage to you. Something about fighting games, I don't know. Alright, now you're just gonna sit down. All CGI show uses a cast similar to Transformers animated. I tend to forget that Transformers has that many human characters in it, by the way. Just, like, it seems very strange, I guess. On some level. I should probably switch back over to the one that's got slightly better stats for this. This is also a decent way to save on your old repair powders there. Like, for some reason, well, you can tell that I'm not a big watcher of Transformers. I just usually think of the little bit that I saw of the old animated series, and it had humans in it, or at least humanoids in one of the sections, which was... The one that I watched was something related to the mini-cons or something. I don't remember. This was a fairly early DVD of it that had only a very few episodes. But Either way, yeah, so... No, I think it was a little earlier than that, but... Either way, yeah, just... Regardless, I think that humans in Transformers just always seem strange on a concept level. I'll be honest with you, I don't actually know if I'm getting anything done with this. And in fact, in all likelihood, I'm not. Like, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to have more of the floor smashed or anything like that. Oh, hey, look, we're down to 2 HP. That is an unnecessary amount of damage, game. Wow, this one particular sword is just made of fucking cardboard, isn't it? I'm going to prefer to not think about that piece of shit for a bit. Maybe that's not actually a useful weapon. I thought it was pretty good earlier, but I'm clearly wrong. Then again, we were also quite capable of buffing this Gladius to a level like that instantaneously, almost. So, that may be another part of things. In fact, let me take a look at this real quick and see what else it needs. If maybe we can do something else interesting with it. Okay, yeah, one of the options needs like 33 fish killers, so that's not going to be a thing. I remember that now. It's like, yeah, one of those is the small sword. Which is just like a sushi knife or something. Almost literally. It often took place in the same world as G.I. Joe. That is very strange, but hey. That said, I seem to recall, I think it was Transformers Armada. It was one of them that was released in the late 90s or early 2000s or something. Probably late 2000s. My brother was still at home at the time, if I recall correctly, before he moved out. And I remember that coming out, and I didn't really keep up with it too well, but it certainly existed. Okay, this is bugging me a little bit. I want to go look up and see if... I hate to keep just breaking out more and more guides for this one game, but it's like, this is kind of... I suppose the problem really is just like, hey, no health bar is throwing me off a little bit. Okay, yeah, it looks like we're doing the right thing. It's just, you know, he's just big and fat and annoying. I definitely remember later bosses being significantly faster than this, though. is the main thing that I will say, just on a general level, is that this is going to be an outlier ultimately. And, you know, we're gonna give Tone some roids right now and see what we can do here. I think we really do just want to go in for the charge attack every time, though, because we literally only get Tone to do 1 slash per hit, so... Take him in the ass. Take 1 damage. 0 damage. I'm used to chip damage always being at least 1 for everything, and in this game, that is not the case. Oh, fuck me running. Don't kill me. I dropped to 1 HP. Great. And we got him. Okay, well, then I guess the jumping into the hole was a strategy. Oh, Megatron, you are... You sure are, that's for sure. I don't know where I was going with that, but eh. Anyway, we've managed to beat up on this poor dog. Hey kid, sorry about that. Yeah, thanks. Oh, so you know what this thing is, huh? Monster called Black Demon appeared in East Terra. Caused massacre after massacre. Almost brought the world to an end. Yeah, everybody was unable to kick its ass. Started to call it the Dark Genie. Well, it sounds better than the other thing, which sounds a little bit unfortunate on some levels. All of the known kingdoms of the world. Earth. Lost tribe called the Moon People. Created an enormous urn that could seal tremendous magic power. And trap the Dark Genie inside. Blah, blah, blah. They sealed it away instead of killing it because it's a Japanese thing. So we gotta go find some moon people. Live quietly in the deep in the woods in a place located beyond Matataki Village. South of Naroon Village. Why not go there first? Yeah, I mean, if it's on the way, okay. Hey, old boy's gonna take us out of the cave. Nice. Now we don't have to climb backwards up those 15 flights of stairs ourselves. It's not like that Burn Rooster stage in X8. What do you got for us, Chief? It's giving us a world map. Oh, okay. It lets us fast travel between locations. Gotcha. This is how they explain the fact that you have that as a map function. Is great Treant. I bet he's more like only kind of decent Treant. Oh well. Megatron turns good at the end due to being a former friend with Optimus. Being the same guy from Beast Wars 2 and Neo. That's neat, though. I actually think that's kind of cool. Alright, so we gotta go into the correct thing here. Pick this up. Oh, hey, look, it's the big guy again. What do you got for us, boss? Way to go, kid. Old man Simba. Are they allowed to call him that? Alright, he's teaching us a new ability called the Windmill Slash. By belching at us. Yeah, okay, this isn't the weird thing. Weirdest thing ever. They didn't have the movie like we did this one. Galvatron are the same person. Unicron trilogy. Huh, that's interesting. So yeah, the Windmill Slash is something that we will see a very few times in this entire game because it does demolish your whip just immediately. However, it deals a sizable amount of damage to most nearby enemies. It's just charging it every time is also kind of a pain in the ass, especially when you don't have a whole lot of defense or HP for that matter. Still, neat. Let's check everywhere before we head on out to see if we have missed any bonus chests. Get as much stuff as we can. Hey, go in there. Go out there, rather. What did I say? Fuck it. Oh, hey. A gourd. Neat. A gourd downy. Wait, no, that's something different. Alright, nothing going on over there. That's too far out, so we can't just drop back in the walk mode over there. Well, shit. Well, the explanation for it is, well, we really can't have a Transformers series without Megatron. You'll confuse the people who have been into it for a long time. But, you know, plot continuity, Again, I admit that I'm not, like, a big Transformers fan, so I can't say a whole lot of, like, oh, well, we only really need so much. Because I would imagine that a lot of people would disagree with that, but... you know, maybe if I was more into it, I'd be like, well, that's a real big problem. But it didn't stick with me too well when I, you know. Like, I remember Beast Wars and not really keeping up with it too well, but I do remember my brother had a toy of Optimus Primal, and it had that, like, chrome blue plastic monkey form. At least, I think it was the ape form that had, like, that chromed over blue plastic, and it was real neat looking. I think he had a Dinobot also, which had, like, an action feature where you could push a button on its butt, and it just sort of spun the tail blades. Yeah, Transmetal, there we go. I couldn't remember what it was called, because, you know. Hey, Iron Fury, how is it going, Chief? Hope you're doing alright. But yeah, any of my other Transformer-related anything, I never personally had any Transformers toys. In fact, now I'm like, shit, I don't even remember what most of my toys were. Except for Legos. I mean, I had a bunch of Legos, or Lego, depending on what part of the world your grammar is. It's very weird that it's different between, but it happens. Should be in bed now, but you're eating leftover Popeyes. Fair enough, fair enough. You know, sometimes you just gotta say fuck sleep and you do something else. Hey, kid. I'm pretty sure that we've got all of the items from just picking up there strewn about the town. Get 4 chicken sandwiches and fries for 24 before delivery and taxes. That sounds pretty decent. That sounds very decent, really. That's a good deal. And hey, it left a bunch of leftovers, so double thumbs up. Yeah, exactly. It seems to have worked out nicely for you, so... Especially since you didn't pay, yeah. It makes it even better. More repair powder, that's always nice to have. I'm pretty sure we used a reasonable chunk of it in that fight. You have most of Transmetal Waspinator. I guess the rest of them just, you know. And again, wasn't Waspinator always getting his ass kicked, so maybe it's a little more realistic. Well, realistic may not necessarily be the word I'm looking for when it comes to Transformers, but, you know, it fits a little better. Oh, Waspinator lost his arm again. Oh, no. I can't do that voice. I don't even remember if that's what he sounded like. Oh, Waspinator, you were... Waspinator always just sounded really sad. Oh, my brother ordered a deal with 4 chicken sandwiches and fries for $24. Waspinator was the ultimate jobber. Yeah, there you go. I'll be able to order a $24 chicken sandwich deal. Fuck. Well, shit, you're right. You get charged double it. Oh, man. Oof. One sec. God, my one knee hurts like hell today. Which is weird, because I don't remember, hitting it on anything. Yeah, that's definitely, if I ever remember to re-implement that, maybe I should stick that back in there. Because I used to have, and then I switched off of to a different bot. But I don't know if it has a quote system, so, People thought Waspinator was too good and they nerfed him. Nobody cared about Terrorsaur. I don't even remember Terrorsaur, so, like... I guess that bears true. And Scorponok. I definitely remember Scorponok, but mostly I remember Scorponok being named Scorponok. And I ended up just passing down... for some reason, I just started calling Scorpions Scorponoks when somebody was streaming Dragon Warrior Randomizer. And so it just ended up sticking, so there you go. Tarantulas. I think I remember Tarantulas existing. Also felt like a fever dream at times. Yeah, I think people were just... the devs were just looking at some of those reflective effects on that animation at the time. It was like, oh. Well then. Speaking of well then, you can see that we are currently missing an entire city. We're missing most of a river, but not all of it also. I don't think there's anything for us to pick up at this juncture. We can go fishing just over here at the waterfall, which is not... The N64 game. Oh, man. I remember the N64 game. Yeah, I remember that. There was... A big thing that I remember is that there was, like a quick draw minigame as well in that. Kind of like the one in Kirby's Adventure and Kirby Superstar and a couple of other Kirby games. And I seem to remember that it had like a couple of hidden characters, and some of them would just randomly get replaced by some of those characters. Like Cheetor had there was a White Tiger type of guy. And in that game, Cheetor would occasionally just get replaced by him. And he had a really different voice, so it was very, very weird. Yes, good old Trent. Tigatron, yeah, there you go. I don't remember half of anybody's names, so at the very least, having someone able to fill me in here. Alright, so I think Fairy King Truesdale here is going to tell me, hey, fill in the river. Yeah, connect the river to revive Trent. Gotcha. The two people that owned Dark Rift on the N64. Oh, I remember Dark Rift existed, and that's it. Right, connect the river to save Trent. Yeah. And yes, I do actually remember... I do remember the Beast Wars N64 game being a thing that existed. As I already alluded to. Oh my god, I'm doing real good. There were definitely... Basically shitty Soul Calibur. There were definitely a fair number of fairly early 3D fighting games on the N64. The 64 was definitely a time when a lot of companies were experimenting quite heavily, and not in the sense of, you know, with substances, although maybe occasionally. And by maybe, I mean, oh ye goodness. But, War Gods, that's one that I remember existing. I never played War Gods, but I heard it was basically worse MK4. And I will level with you, I was not exactly enamored with Mortal Kombat 4 to begin with, so worse Mortal Kombat 4 sounds a little bit like a struggle. They made so Midway could test 3D fighting gameplay. Yeah, that's about what I figured, because, yeah, I knew that War Gods was made by Midway. I think it was mostly the Mortal Kombat people. Possibly even John Tobias, because that was before John Tobias left the company. Yeah, MK4 is kind of not my bag. We'll put it that way. I seem to recall hearing that the Dreamcast version, Mortal Kombat Gold, is glitchier, but might have some more, like, yeah, it has Baraka in it and some other characters that are extra, I think, right? Mario 64 and Wayne Gretzky 3D hockey. Yeah, that's what I figured, is that it was kind of a clusterfuck. You know, I've got a Dreamcast, and I'm pretty sure that it can run bootlegged games, so even if I don't buy it. Sector was a secret character. It was legit banned in competitive play. Damn! Get fucking wrecked, Sector. Sector was, like, decently high tier in the MK3 era, if I recall correctly, at least with UMK3. Once you set Striker aside, obviously, because Striker is just a balance breaker in the 3 era. Well, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. Oh, was he actually lower tier? Maybe he just seemed really easy to use. Okay, so this guy in the wolf pelt thinks that we fucked up the village. And Rain was really high tier. Yeah, I remember that. Noob Saibot was banned. Damn. Damn. But yeah, I do seem to recall Noob Saibot being really good. Oh boy, that diagonal input. We're going to want to use the stick for that, I think. It goes over competitive Mortal Kombat. It is certainly not Fire Drake. Did I swear I updated the game. Dang it. Dang it, Bobby. Yeah, but there were definitely a lot of characters in MK3 that my memory of them is that they were often very cheap. And there's a lot of characters also that, like, just had really easy to spam special moves, even if they weren't super cheap. Like, Sector, I seem to recall, the main thing that I remember about... Yeah, Human Smoke. The main thing that I remember about Sector was that he just had a really easy to call out missile, and that was really good. I had a lot of fun playing as Cyrax, though. Although I would assume that Cyrax is kind of like, ugh, to a lot of people. Yeah, Human Smoke is definitely kind of a baller. Smoke is usually the guy that the speedrunners play as when they get the chance in the MK3 games. Trilogy on the 64 was the one you played the most. Trilogy on the 64 didn't have everybody from Trilogy, but yeah. Had a lot of stuff. I'm pretty sure the ones on the 64 worked pretty good. The 2D ones, anyway. And by the 2D ones, I mean basically just Trilogy, because I think that was. People that didn't have were banned anyway. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, because I think that I said at one point that balance aside, and if the turning mechanic was not as jank, that Mythology's Sub-Zero could probably have worked. Because it mostly played okay, aside from that stuff. Anyway, we are descending into a new level here. This is our new dungeon. It's a forest. It's got owls in it. And it's got an annoying mechanic. So that's always fun. Yeah, you've definitely said before that you have a level of appreciation for Mythology's Sub-Zero that a lot of people definitely don't have. I would have loved to have seen Mythology's type of games continue for the series. Just because I'm fairly invested in the lore and the backstory and all that stuff for, like, everybody. Let's take a look at what we need for this thing, anyway. We need every stat. We need basically the same things that we would need to upgrade the Gladius. Would it just be easier to bump that thing? I mean, seriously. Come to think of it, yeah, it totally would be. Oh, okay. Shamshir, more like sham shit, apparently. Oh, hey, that's completely useless. Thanks. Yeah, Tremor was in, oh god, what the fuck was it called? Special Forces, yeah. Oh god, Special Forces. Oh, Special Forces. Oh, man. Also, oh, he stole my money. Get fucked, asshole. Give me a... Yeah, see, 544, he definitely coughed up. Special Forces was... Oh, ye gods. Special Forces is multiple layers of the devs having ideas about a lot of things they wanted to do and just not being able to pull any of them off. And trying very hard to do all of them at once. Because that's what you want out of life, right? Oh, this guy's being a real dickwad. Okay. I mean, I also kind of look at it like, oh yeah, you're going to do the blaxploitation theme, and I don't want to be that person too much, but also, you know... You gotta be a little bit more delicate than Midway was being with that sort of thing. But hey, again, we'll put that part aside. Mythologies is a game that is rough, but not a terrible idea on a sort of baseline level. It deserves some points. I'm not sure what those points are, but... It deserves some of... Get off me, please. This little gremlin thing. Imp, whatever it is. Oh, you sick fuck. Well, don't go insane, I guess, is all I can tell you. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, I thought you meant Special Forces was the one you'd have to deal with at some point, but... I mean, that's also kind of a, you know... tread lightly thing. To my knowledge, the 64 version does only have that as its only real difference between that and the PS1 version. The cutscenes in the PS1 game are quite fun. I enjoy them. Richard DeVizio, who is the guy who did Quan Chi in that, and Richard DeVizio was like everybody in the MK3 era, if I recall correctly. It was like he was Kano at least, and a couple other people. It was him. It was Sal DeVita for the robot ninjas, and yeah, I'm pretty sure Richard DeVizio was like everybody. Especially the bald guys. But yeah, it was like them for all the males and different people for the female characters. Unsurprisingly. Alright, so now is when we can start introducing the mechanic of this dungeon. Oh yeah, that can cause some problems. Let me tell you, I understand the lack of motivation thing for streaming. Or for videos, for that matter, because, you know, I create non-gameplay type of content on YouTube. Yeah, I will be honest, I came into any knowledge about the series much later. But it's definitely something that I picked up. What am I trying to say here? I got reasonably into it for quite a while around the time that Mortal Kombat 10 came out. For a variety of reasons. I was very interested in it. At that time, I was starting to write more, so I was like, hey, this is a really important piece of video gaming culture and American culture just in general, really, so maybe this is the thing I should talk about quite a bit. Followed the game since one, religiously watched the cartoon, went out of your way to see the movies. They definitely were leaning very heavily on that sort of an idea with MK9. They were probably going a little bit too far back, I guess, in terms of a lot of that stuff. So here we are, talking about this game again. We have 3 different keys that we can feed to this stupid fucking owl at the end of a level. And he may or may not be like, nah. I mean, it's easy enough if you just clear everything before you go and deal with him, but I don't like it very much. Although I do like the owl's little mustache animation when you successfully give it the right item. That's pretty adorable. Alright, so I don't really know how much we've got that we can do here, but let's take a look. Okay, we did get at least a building, so we've got a well here. We can set that down. That might have an item attached to it. I think the wells sometimes have items sitting on them. But not this time, that's for dang sure. Well, book. That said, I'm going to pop open the map for this area, even though we're probably not going to get too deep into this tonight, but we're doing what we can. It was just sort of like a lot of people thought it was overbearing, and I would imagine that the idea behind why they had used that as such a design element was that they were just like, well, it's always been like this, and then a lot of people were like, okay, this is over the top. Wait, was Tanya in MK9? I know Tanya was in 10, right? Is she in 9? Yeah, because I was like, wait a second. Because she was one of the very few characters from the post-MK3 era to get reuse. Yeah, I mean, yeah, true. If you're going through the whole series, that they were sort of, yeah. Tanya was considered a top-tier character in the original MK4. Well, interesting. I don't really know a ton about any of the tier lists from that era, so... or most of the game's history, but, eh. I don't remember any of that specific story stuff. Again, I think that a large part of it was just, like... they just kept with their traditions a lot because, well, even in the mid-period 3D games before the continuity reboot that was MK9, a lot of characters did just sort of look very similar, so they were just like, yeah, well, forget it, we're gonna keep doing things this way. Not saying it's an excuse, more just a reason. But again, just kind of spitballing at that point. I have no idea for sure. Oh, wow, okay, so that blue ring decided to just eat all of my, like, 2 weapon hit points in this thing. Well, fuck you too, game. I'm gonna take that out. We're going to put an attack plus 3 thing in there. Su-Hao was such a boring and stupid character, it killed midway. Oh, Su-Hao. What a mistake. Actually, speaking of Su-Hao, there is a very humorous thing. This is one of the few things that I know about the Mortal Kombat 10 comics. In that Su-Hao reappears for like one panel, and then immediately Scorpion just shows up and spears him. Yeah, I'm using the term continuity reboot a little bit loosely, but it's sort of like it's basically a timeline reset after Armageddon happens. Yeah. Oh, mocap. And yeah, status of the equipped weapon change is a thing that crops up occasionally, causing your equipped weapon to lose stats. Or just change stats a little bit. Either way, that was really embarrassing what just happened. We should probably consider not speaking of that anytime soon. You know what? I think we can just... yeah, we have escape powder, so we can leave the dungeon. That Su-Hao was murdered by Aaron Black. Yeah. Nice. Aaron Black, what a great character he is. I love him a lot. Yeah, Aaron Black is really fucking good, and they've got some pretty good new characters in general. I love Kotal Khan. Kotal Khan is really cool. Not necessarily the greatest character to play as, but definitely pretty cool. You don't like Kotal? That's alright. At least in story. Yeah, I mean... he's definitely kind of underwhelming in the story department. I'll give you that one. Sell this. Alright, so we should have enough stuff to get along for a bit. I'm gonna go and store some more things here. Kotal Khan having the worst string of days all in a row that it is possible for someone to have. Yeah. Shao Kahn is from the movie versus Naruto. Oh boy, that's... that sounds like a disaster plot-wise. The movies. I haven't seen the new movie, by the way, but I have definitely... I definitely saw the original two from the 90s. The first one was really good. I still really like that. Fucking movie Johnny Cage is just so good. And then they immediately got rid of him in Annihilation. I think probably because they didn't want to pay Lyndon Ashby that much or something. Oh, okay, this mushroom is incredibly rude. Just poisoning me like that instantly. Yeah, all of the major villains get their own moments, but yeah, in terms of being, like, the big guy. Right, yeah, that's what I was picking up on, Irene. That said, I gotta give points to Quan Chi for having one of my favorite fatalities in the entire series in MK4 when he was introduced, where he just rips the other dude's legs off. Single leg, pardon me. Yeah, exactly. And it just keeps going possibly forever because it fades out. Just, wow, that is incredibly mean, but I love it. That's why they killed him off in 10, yeah. Gotta make room for the plot of 11. Where they had a really nice cast of heroes, and then the villains are kind of forgettable. And I'm like, wait a second. Who even was the... Like, there was Chronica and then there was someone else, right? And Collector was another, like, kind of bad dude in 11, but he wasn't, like, big bad material. He was explicitly just, well, a hired goon. Hired goons? Wait. Devora, right. Devora, I think, has at least got the decency to have, like, an interesting concept. Execution, well... You know, that's a whole other issue. Oh god, here comes the shitty mushroom. Oh, am I confused right now? Because I could have sworn there was, like... There was Chronica, and then there was another goddess. And then there was Chronica's, servant dude who I thought kind of looked like low-rent Zosalamel without the scythe. Or possibly with the scythe. Now I don't... He had a scythe, didn't he? Fucking hell. I hate it when this happens. And it happens all the time. I have really bad memory. And I'm pretty sure it's only gotten worse recently. Garrus, yeah, that's his name, yeah. But yeah, I'm with you there that Garrus is definitely the sort of guy, like, he should have been the big nasty at least once before Chronica. Like, even if it's a side game, kind of like what they did with Quan Chi in the MK4 era. Well, Fire Drake, it is true the time has gotten worse, but also, I'm pretty sure my memory has definitely gotten a few more holes in it at some point. My brain is full of holes. Alright, now where's the key that we can stick in here? I mean, yeah, she's got, like, psychic powers or something like that. Yeah, so let's pop this thing in here. Yeah, I was like, wait a second. But on the other hand, I still parse that as correct, because mentally I'm like, surely there was a guy named Raven in one of the Mortal Kombat games. Permanently immobilized him probably because they couldn't kill him because he's like some sort of time god kind of guy, right? Or related to a time deity, so I think things will be interesting when/if they continue the Mortal Kombat series. I remember hearing at one point, and I don't know that this is true, but I think there was an implication that they were looking to at least wrap up some part of the continuity. I'm sure they'll keep going, though. I mean, why wouldn't they? It's the easiest money that... I almost said Midway. Wow. It's the easiest money that NetherRealm has. I mean, they've got Injustice as well, but I'm sure that the licensing fees on that are astra-fucking-nomical. He goes back in time. Interesting. Well, hopefully he doesn't train him to only be the halfway decent Kung Lao. Wait. Oh, I'm charging up a useless shot, aren't I? The bees just fall straight to the ground. Liu Kang is still a zombie, yeah. Figured. Shao Kahn's... Kotal Khan. Yeah, Raiden is still evil. I do remember that being a thing, because, yeah. Baraka and Melina are married. Oh, okay, this is the thing that you're... Yeah. Because, yeah, that said, I do remember... the whole plot line of Raiden stays evil throughout. Yeah. Allegedly, both the endings are canon due to split timelines. That... Right. That'd be an interesting thing to explore as, like, a game slash a series of games, or... You know, like, either one game where it's just, like, here's the chunks of the split timeline, and you go back and forth between them. Or multiple short games that are chunks of timeline that basically are all concurrent in that sense, if that makes sense. Which, surely it does. Maybe. Right, right. Oh, Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon. Those games sure existed. That's one way to put what happened to him. Ultra Sun and Moon were, well, they were perfectly playable games. Plot-wise, I've seen worse, but there's definitely a few things that I think there are some holes in that are caused by the split that I don't feel super great about, but I am somebody who complains a lot, so... I should probably not be shooting that at two things, just in case, yeah. And yeah, by the way, we're going to be staying off of Budget Link for a little bit, because this is how fast we run with the Trans Feather active while we're goo stated. I don't think we have anything to cure it with, because... Yeah. Right, because he showed up in Rainbow Rocket, along with all of the other villains. where they brought them in not only from timelines where they won, but from what are basically their original versions. Because, of course, we had the classic version of Maxie and Archie instead of what we had in Omega and Alpha. But they also pulled Getsus from pre-Black 2, White 2. So it was in his original version where he's in the castle robe. Yeah, Getsus is like the only character that I think in the entire Pokemon series who thinks of using direct violence against the player character. I mean, yeah, you have Lysander who tries to blow up that entire town and everything. But also... Oh, God. Words, please. Hang on a second. You know, Lysander isn't doing that to... Lysander is just doing that to flex. He's not doing it specifically because he wants to kill the player character. He's doing it because, you know, that's just sort of ancillary. Meanwhile, Getsus is just like, okay, I'm gonna fucking murder this child. And saying that, it is very unusual that he is the only one to think of that. And, like, for some reason, nobody from Team Rocket, who are the Pokemon Mafia, basically, is like, hey, let me just punch this kid right in a sensitive area after I lost this Pokemon battle. Like, I feel like a Team Rocket dude would have been the one that would first come across that idea, but... I'm out of Pokemon, but not out of options. Game over! Yeah! Wait. I could have made that less bad. Oh, hey, we got the Buster Sword. Not the one that we know from other things. I almost kind of wonder if it's supposed to be like a corruption of Bastard Sword or something. But speaking of being a bastard and a sword, let's take a look at this thing's stats. I think it has some good shit going on. Oh yeah, for a start, it has 4 fucking slots! Hell yeah! And second of all, it's got good anti-effects here. This is probably going to end up being the thing that we shove all of our stuff into. I'm going to take a quick look at the guide, actually. Let's do a Claymore. Never mind, actually. This thing actually can only build up to the weakest of the ultimate weapons. So, saying that, the level 8 a tiny bit of my non-existent money. So we're going to grind that thing down into a fine powder, and we're going to use that to buff up one of our other weapons. Yeah, Getsus is absolutely... as, like, a very talented manipulator of people. And a huge scumbag, etc. And ultimately, I think it works, because, yeah, if it was just a straightforward PETA thing, it would obviously be like, that's really, really stupid in this universe. But it works out because it's a ruse. Or just be like, fuck you guys. And as soon as we step out of the dungeon, we are healed and our things are gotten. Do people actually think Cyrus is the best written villain? Come off it. That's... Guys, come on. That's overkill. Cyrus isn't completely without any sort of likable features, I don't think, but saying that he's the best villain is kind of ridiculous because, well, you know, Cyrus is a budget Kingdom Hearts villain. Which I think is something that I said before. I mean, he really is just like... He just kind of looks like and talks like Ansem a little bit. Solve his own problem by staying home. I mean, yeah, that's not entirely an incorrect description. Alright, what do you need for your house? Second floor. Gotcha. Alright, so we're missing the other guy who was that place that we just put out there. Well, that's a pain. I don't think there's anything else we can pick up in here, but take a look anyway. I like that, though, that Cyrus is an over-the-top social distancer. That's a little bit, that's a good description. Gen 4 introduced some important mechanics, but it doesn't feel good to play any of the games. And I'm going to include Heart Gold and Soul Silver in that, which a lot of people will be like, oh, that's blasphemy, but... I mean... I'll level with you, I actually don't think that Gold and Silver were that good to begin with. That's gonna get me killed for real. Like, that's... If there's anything that'll get you canceled on the internet, it's saying that Gold and Silver weren't great games, but, they definitely... Gold and Silver had some severe issues with balance, basically. We'll put it that way. And so you end up with Heart Gold and Soul Silver, which don't address that issue too well. And they are combined with the half speed or whatever that the original Gen 4 games were going at. And it's just not a great time. It had a really confusing new Safari Zone that was added in it, too. Which ended up being, like, the last Safari Zone in the entire series. Which, hey, wow, good to see that this mechanic, which already a lot of people are kind of hit and miss on, they're just gonna make it as dog shit as possible in Gen 4. And that's why we don't have them anymore. Yeah, for me, like, the worst thing about Sinnoh is the mud in the swamp area, although the snow is just as bad for basically the same reasons. I mean, they did a little bit of cleaning things up with the mud in Platinum, so you can see where the holes are, but I'm pretty sure they're not completely avoidable in every case still, which is just like, hey, wow. Nice of you to continue to look at how badly designed this is and not fix everything, when the solutions are just right in front of you of don't do it. But hey, I'm not a video game designer. I don't work in this field. I don't necessarily know what I'm talking about. Oh, this should be a fucking laugher. It used the speed up. Oh, wow, that's good one, dude. I understand that these games are not easy to get hold of and play nowadays. Like, the prices on, especially on Platinum, but the prices of the Gen 4 games are obnoxiously expensive. And the same is true of Gen 5. I went looking for copies of Black and White because, well, I like all of those games, so may as well give them a shot. But the prices were just kind of obscene, and I understand that can be a bit of a problem, but with things like that, you do have to stay inside of the developer's intended parameters are the things. And so, you know, when I talk about stuff like that, I do tend to be like, okay, well, if we look at it the way that the devs intended you to play it, which is not necessarily the way people are playing it nowadays, sure, but we're gonna go on the developer's home ground here when we say what the fuck is wrong with you. And yeah, exactly. Those are features that could have been added in any other Pokemon game is the thing. So, that's not exactly much of a high mark that they're getting for, oh, hey, you had some good Pokemon. Also, yeah, we are cutting it real close here with every single resource we've got. It's fine, it's fine. It's a strategy or something, I don't know. I don't know what kind of a strategy it is. Not a good one, but... Anyway, yeah, so... Those are good ideas, like the framework type of level. They improved the way Pokemon games were, but the rest of the games that they were attached to were just kind of garbage. Doesn't really make up for it. At all. Yeah, for reasons that I am not exactly confident of, they just decided to make that the most straightforward possible port of Diamond and Pearl. Like, as few changes as possible. There are some minor quality of life adjustments that are extremely small. Yeah, absolutely. Legends Arceus, Arceus? I don't remember the exact pronunciation. Arceus is the Japanese pronunciation, but for reasons that escape me, they decided to make them very different between English and Japanese. So I'm probably just gonna say it Arceus anytime it comes up ever again. Aw, fuck you, game. Yeah, there you go. I really enjoy that, you know, everything they were doing with that. Unfortunately, I don't think most of those forms are going to come back anytime soon. Right, and also they don't want you to say arse in English or something, I don't know. I don't know. You're asking the wrong person. As one usually does when they ask me, but... Alright, Owl. Here's your random objects. Actually, I'm curious, is there a... No, it doesn't give you a hint as to what you need to pick up. It says, seems like it wants something, which... You know, cool. Alright, log out of the dungeon briefly. Log out like it's fucking dot hack. I didn't really need to do that, but I did it anyway. Let's walk back in. I'm pretty sure we were at like full HP even, so... That may have been slightly silly. Only slightly, though. Alright, well, good luck there, Dave Iron Fury. Get yourself some sleep if you can. And if not, well, then there's only so much you can do about that in there. Oh wow, this thing makes a really terrible noise, doesn't it? It's a plant monster, like we expected, but hey. Mostly I'm just trying to grab some more attachments, so yeah. Ooh, nice. Oh, I feel that a lot. Sleep is a load of bullshit. Doesn't work most of the time. Let's put our throwy things up here at the top. Hey, use the right button. Aw, darn it. More Mage Slayer pieces. Oh yeah, let me try, like... I'm gonna stock both these in there. Alright. Regular water. Something very amusing about that. Is this actually giving me experience or not, is my question right now. Hey, we got a stairway. That seems like a fairly generic object to me, but eh. Another stairway. Well, we're probably going to need a lot of those around here, judging by some of how these buildings are shaped. Oh good, we've got mimics. Oh fuck, this thing just... Again, is made of cardboard, isn't it? I hear someone walking around. Ah, I see it's a gnome with a fire axe. That's only slightly terrifying. It's taking a bit to leave. Hey, neat, we got a little bit of whip back because we didn't have a whole lot to recover in the first place. But hey, I'll take it anyway. My feather! No! Nose! Turned into little pieces of feather bits. Yeah, you can see my inventory is getting a little bit crowded with items that I don't necessarily need. Maybe time to hit up a shop pretty soon and deal with that a little bit. Hey, fuck you. Hey, double fuck you! Ah, that dropkick is pretty nasty. I guess at the very least, some of these enemies have a little bit of fight in them. They're not all easy to just mash X at until they explode. Until they explode. It will explode! Thank you, Full Life Consequences. Couldn't remember what that terrible piece of fanfiction was called for a second. Good old Half-Life Full Life Consequences. Excuse me, I hope that didn't get picked up by the mic, but I did in fact let out a big yawn. If you heard that and you were like, what's that noise? Yeah, that's what that noise is. Big fucking yawn. Oh fuck me running. Oh god, this thing fucking guarding. On my stupid little paper sword. Alright, let's get, going up this way. Get ourselves access to that next floor. And let's walk out of the dungeon, and I think this is where we're gonna want to start, doing some shop stuff over in the other town again. But first we want to put everybody's houses down. Okay, yeah, we have her at Bunbuku's house. We got a watermill. We got these two clods of earth, which are used for positioning specific buildings. Oh, well, that's certainly, yeah, that's something they can do, and it'll be really strange, and we'll all just be like, why would you do that? Well, again, those of us who are that deep into that sort of thing, anyway. Alright, drop down here, and find the little stairwell. Oh, there it is. Well. Camera? Come on. Fuck! God, it really does feel like a struggle moving that thing around the side of a building. Or anything, really. Jeez. Hey, you. Oh, she's got an item. Right, let's pick that up. Hey, a piece of cheese. Yay. Yay, a healing item. Hooray. I'll give Quest 64 and its camera this. It had a very simple way of controlling it that probably did actually help in that regard. Of just like, oh, hey, press a button and it goes behind you. Well, hey, it does what it needs to. What you need? You need an extra room. Torch, yeah, that's storeroom. So it looks like we can't do a whole lot of anything else right now except for put a roof and a stairwell on the well. Well, I guess at least that's finished. There might be an item sitting around here. Let's take a look. Actually, I could probably get into Cacao's house and see if he's got anything for us to pick up. Because there's a distinct possibility that he might. See, there we get a bit of camera smoothness. Why can't I get that everywhere else? Oh, right, early PS2 days. Yeah. Excuse me. That looping rooster is kind of annoying. Alright, sell the regular waters. We really don't need those. We definitely don't need this much antidote drink, believe it or not. So I'll throw a couple of those out. Throw these here. Anything to chuck in the attachment? I should probably be keeping any of these anyway, just to keep stuffing them into things. I'm gonna grab a holy. All right, go back into the dungeon. We can do another floor or two before we head off for the day. I forget what our sort of like midpoint for this area is, because there's going to be a halfway point of sorts where they're just going to require us basically to have had certain buildings finished in order to unlock a specific item to be able to deal with the boss of the area. Sorry, I was a little bit thrown off by my failure to open that. I mean, it's not like it's weird or anything. Not that much anyway, but it is still kind of like... still frustrating, so... you know. I think I'm just going to stick with this for now, unless we run into some more enemies that are much more easily dealt with up close. Or perhaps I should walk around with Toan just because he's got more water. And I'm feeling a little bit lazy to actually recover Xiao's water, which maybe I should. You know, yeah, let's do that after we do this fight. Or she can get poisoned. Good thing we have those antidote drinks. Right, because that dude's chucking out the fucking moldy apples. Like some kind of a jerk who has a bunch of moldy apples to chuck around. God, I wish I could remember what floor we should be using the sundew on, because there's a level... there's a floor in this level, pardon me, which the back room is all enemies whose base experience yield is 12, so they double up to 24. And if you go back and forth between a main floor and a back room, you respawn all of the enemies. So you can just farm EXP that way, and it's really good. And basically, as soon as I have that unlocked, that's probably what I'm going to end up using as a source of grinding for a bit. Let's see if it says anything in one of these guides. The answer there is going to be probably not. Yeah, this dungeon is really not good to you if you're melee. Like, wow, I forgot how much a lot of these enemies are just like, hey, fuck you if you're close range. Alternately, we do have a pool here, and we got poisoned by this thing in one, because, wow, the chances on that must be ridiculous. Oh yeah, we gotta be careful that we don't accidentally use the other charge attack by charging for too long. Dodge the spore cloud. It's gotta fight those guys a little bit more strategically, and I don't like that. Oh, okay, yeah, because this thing needs less max whip, right? Back this fucker into a corner. Get shit on. There we go. Your thing. And we'll repair our Shamshir and... Oh, you're gonna teleport to, like, the same location, aren't you? Oh god, we're poisoned, because everything in this dungeon poisons you, apparently. Fuck, man. Do I have the key for this area here? Yes. Oh hey, big chest. Nice. Easy. The game doesn't even want to fucking load it. And to be honest with you, fuck you too, game. Thanks for giving me another piece of shit sword. I love that. That's a good glitch. That's some good glitching. My copy of the game is probably a little bit scratched, but we did see the model before when it was just popping out of a chest, so I assume that is just a minor issue. Do we have anything of note? Honestly, no. I could probably just fucking sell these things and just be like, okay, yeah, we're sticking with the Gladius and the Buster Sword. Oh god, I said the W in sword again, didn't I? Sorry. It's a problem. Fuck you! Good god! I was hitting the goddamn triangle button too. Why does it not want to... Yeah, don't fight like anything at a close range here, I guess is the point. That's the object lesson here. I still need one of the greens. Oh, that one of those dots down there is not a chest, is it? Fuck me. I'll have to look at that in a few minutes. Sorry. Oh yeah, that's just a weird visual glitch that we just saw. Looked like the enemy was getting back up. No, don't worry. The enemy is not actually getting back up. Yeah, we gotta use our repair powder, our revival powder to be able to get this. Oh yeah, we're down to 4 repair powders also. We should probably get some more of those. I don't think we have any... No, we used a stat buffing item earlier, so I'm clearly just confused a little bit here. Alright. Now we get to give this dude some items. Dungeon. And now let's do what we can with the village and then do our shopping and stuff, and that's gonna be all for this, but we'll get to that in a moment. So the mushroom house, I think, just stays in the condition it's in for a bit. Go talk to Bunbuku. We can get an item for him. An item from him. Whatever. I'm pretty sure we can complete his house. I can't place the river yet. Let's go talk to the raccoon man whenever we find him. He's probably hanging out around here. By around here, I mean in his house. No, he's not. Okay, well. Oh, fuck me too, then. Alright. Get out of here. Get... Well, let's deal with the event at Cacao house and, I guess, get warned about it being afternoon. Thanks, game. Let me do the thing I'm trying to do. Right near the end, it's trying to annoy me, I see. Thing gets stuck on a thing. Sure, dude. What do you got for us? Legendary Hunter, huh? We didn't hear all of it, but This is Fudo guy. Yeah, thanks, buddy. Hero of the village, huh? He was invincible. Attacked by a white tiger. He kicked its ass. Well then. Then he just disappeared, huh? Killed by a monster called the Killer Snake. Huh. That's, Heck if I know, dude, but alright. Yeah? What do you got for us? He won't give us his loot, but he will go into his closet and he will take out this very old flute. Killer Snake is sinister serpent's name in Japan. I probably didn't know that offhand, but hey. It sounds like a mouse. Don't play it in strange places or you'll attract snakes. Sounds like the rumors are true. Also, yeah, that is just straight up an ocarina. Like I said, they were really trying to be Zelda, which is funny because it's a completely different game, really. Do we have some river we can place down? We don't have any river that we can place down, because we are supposed to drag the river all the way down to where Trent is hanging out and talk to him to get something that will let us fight the killer snake, because, hey, who would have guessed? It's real! Somebody told us about a thing in an RPG and it's real? Wow. Hey, dude. What you got? Upstairs cabin for you. I think that's a thing we've got. Yep. Well, we got a cabin anyway. Upstairsness is determined entirely by the house. Oh, hey. Excuse me. Yeah, what do you need, buddy? Uh-oh. You're going to fall. Oh, what did you do, buddy? Would like a shell and white in color. Oh, okay. So we need to go get the candy from our storage back into Maroon Village, and yeah. Oh, hey. X button? Thank you. First, we're going to talk to this dude, and, well, we're going to dump these off, because honestly, they're not that useful. But we will dismantle the one that we are working on. And see if we can't get some free stats out of it. Because we could certainly use them. And by free, I of course mean extremely expensive, but I digress. Grab this lollipop and go back to the place. Don't go to the forest yet. We're gonna go and complete that event. Alright. I think we've got one of these that we can hand over. Oh, hey, look, it's the same thing. Wow, she didn't break her knees horribly. Congration. What do you got for me, though? An ointment leaf. That is a key item. Make cure-all medicine from this leaf. That's a key item for far further in the game, I believe. So, neat. Well, let's go ahead and save, and I think that this is going to be the end of the line for the evening for us, because, yeah, we've been going for about 3 hours.